Hey, I want to talk about the power of setting context. I think it's an amazing tool that doesn't get utilized as often as it could. And I want to teach you how to do it and share a little bit about why it's so important. Context is basically just giving the who, what, where, why, and when of anything that's happening. It could be a conversation, it could be a game, it could be a meeting, it could be um, vacation, anything. We're in an implicit context that you are watching a video of me. There are always implicit context. Maybe an implicit context right now is that you're on your phone or computer to watch this video. We're not face to face. That's an implicit context. The thing that gets me the most excited about context is taking contexts that are implicit and making them explicit. I especially love context in just everyday conversations. It really helps me kind of to know I want to know the rules so that I know how to play the game, and context gives me those rules. Say that I'm having a conversation with my best friend and she's kind of going on and on for a few minutes, and without context I don't really know how to listen. Am I supposed to be giving feedback, or does she just want to vent? Is she going to ask me for a favor at the end of this? I don't know. Without context, I don't know the answer to any of those things. But it's different if she comes up to me and says, "Hey, I had a hard day. I just want to vent for 5 minutes." Then I know how to listen. Then I know, cool, she's venting, I'm listening, awesome. Or she could say, "Hey, there is something that happened to me today and I have a favor to ask you, but I want to give you some backstory first." That's context, and then I know, cool, she's talking to me now, she's giving me backstory, there's going to be a favor, I'm kind of queued up for it, I'm ready. And it makes me a better friend in those moments, because if I don't know what I'm listening for or how to be with her, then I'm trying to figure it out and I'm not actually giving her my full attention. So like I said, there are some ingredients here. There's the who, what, why, when, where, and there's also consent. The who is sometimes pretty obvious, but maybe not. Maybe it's you and me, maybe it's you and me, and also Mike. It's whoever I want to have included in the context. Like, hey, let's go get ice cream, you, me, Mike, and Margaret. Then we know it's you, me, Mike, and Margaret. Then you're not left in the dark thinking it's just you and me. That can be jarring. Like, I don't actually like showing up to a restaurant when I think it's me and one friend and then there's two other people there. It changes how I'm going to approach the evening, and maybe I would have invited people had I known that my friend was inviting people. It totally changes the context, so I like having that context up front. The what is just what we're doing, getting ice cream, having dinner, having a talk. The why is a moment where I get to reveal, if I'm the one setting context, why I want to be doing this. Maybe it's because, like in my first example, I want to vent because I had a hard day. I need advice. I haven't had ice cream in a really long time and I really want it. Do you want to go with me? It's the moment where you, if you're the one setting context, get to be a little vulnerable and a little revealed. And if your why isn't actually the real why, it might be the reason why you don't get consent later on from who you're asking. The where is just where, like, are we doing it here? Do you want to go in the other room? Etc. The when could be how long. This one gets overlooked a lot, but I like it. It changes it for me if you want me to listen to you for 2 minutes or for 10 minutes. Then I might want to actually say, no, I don't have 10 minutes right now, but I do at 4 o'clock. Can we do this then? Versus like, yeah, I have 2 minutes right now, but if I think you're going to talk for 2 and you actually talk for 10, I didn't have the context, now I'm late for my meeting, it's not good. Context, people. I like context. And then the last step is simply, you can just ask explicitly for consent. Like, are you in? Or does that sound good to you? Or you down? It doesn't have to be formal, just making sure that the other person is actually on board will have them be more engaged and probably have the experience better for everybody. I like doing this. This one's a little funny. This is something I often recommend to my coachees, and I do this also. Sometimes it can be confusing nowadays if like a man and a woman are hanging out, is it a date? And neither one of them really want to ask or say, because it can be vulnerable. What if I wanted it to be a date and then the other person says it's not? But it can be really good to know that up front, because then I don't have to be in my head about it the whole time. I can actually just relax and enjoy spending time with this person. One way to set context is to actually check in and say, hey, is this a date? In that case, if you're already hanging out with the person, you already probably have the other things covered, like the who, what, where, why, when. That's probably already there, at least to some extent. A moment where you could probably be more revealed is if you want to say, give it more of a why, like, which in this case would be either I want this to be a date or I don't want this to be a date. I just want to hang out with you. That's one example where it can come in really handy. But like I said, there are so many. Try it out. Let me know how it goes, or if you have questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments. Thank you.